music, but I thought the big moment was just, oh, we had an easy shot. We made one free throw. We missed the other. And then they went down and got points. You can't have a guy playing who's scared to shoot the ball. Ben Simmons played really bad. He's not going to get traded. He's not going to play, and they're about to start taking away his money anyway from now on. Don't call Ben Simmons a star player anymore. This guy doesn't try hard. This guy is a failure. This guy is a disappointment. This guy was only good for 2 years. This guy gets too much credit. How did Ben Simmons and the Sixers team get to this mess? Well, it didn't start this way. When Ben came into the NBA, the news people loved Ben Simmons. He was called the Prince as the next LeBron James. He was likable, and at 6 feet 10 inches and 240 pounds, Ben could become amazing. He was picked first in the 2016 NBA draft, and the Sixers' future looked really good. The Philadelphia 76ers choose Ben Simmons in his first NBA year. Ben got 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. He won the Best New Player Award. The team went from the second worst team in their group in 2016 to the third best in 2017. The city of Philadelphia loved him, and in 2019 gave him a huge 5-year, $170 million deal alongside Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons officially became the main player of the Sixers team, but all of that broke apart in last season's playoffs applause. It was like something from a scary movie. Ben lost his confidence and couldn't make free throws. LeBron's student in the Sixers superstar turned into Philadelphia's bad guy. Surprisingly, Ben Simmons is not the first player to take this path. And no, I'm not talking about Kawhi Leonard, who wouldn't play for the Spurs in 2017. In the early 2000s, there was another young superstar who forced his way out of the city that picked him, a guy who went from the loved face of the team to the most hated in just 5 years. It was future Hall of Famer Vince Carter. Vince Carter was picked by the Toronto Raptors in 1998 from UNC. He got 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists in his first NBA season. Vince won Best New Player, just like Ben Simmons, and amazed the NBA with his incredible jumping ability. Fans and news people called him the next MJ, nicknaming him Air Canada, always comparing how athletic they both were. By 2004, Vince made 5 All-Star teams and was top 5 for the Raptors team, and almost every big stat category, Vincentini was taking over the NBA. Raptor fans were so happy that their team could finally compete in the Eastern Conference, but during that time, Vince was also becoming Toronto's bad guy in his first playoff series in 1999. The Raptors lost all games to the Knicks. Vince went 8-for-37 from shooting in games 1 and 3, and he gave up. Now, that is his shot. That's what he loves to do. And also didn't take the game-winning shot in Game 2 music. Then, in 2001, just before Game 7 of the Eastern Conference, Vince flew to UNC for his graduation. This got him more bad news coverage. There were some people who wondered, including some of your teammates who wondered about your choice to go to North Carolina, considering how big this game was. What's your answer to that criticism? You know, a lot of people are saying this is the biggest game in Toronto Raptors team history. I don't want to add more problems. Vince didn't play like he did in Game 6, where he scored 39 points. Vince scored just 20 points, went 6-for-18 shooting, and went over 3 from the three-point line. He also missed the final shot to win the series. This left fans wondering, what if Vince didn't choose the UNC graduation over the NBA playoffs? His own teammates wondered about his choices. Here's Charles Oakley, his former teammate, in 2080. If Vince doesn't go to graduation, are you guys in a conference final? No doubt, no doubt, yeah. Then things got worse. He told reporters that he was done with dunking, which is crazy to hear from one of the best dunkers of all time. I don't want to dunk anymore. Dunking gets too much attention. There's even stories of Vince pretending to be hurt so he could sit out of games, and stories of him telling the other team what plays the Raptors were going to run finally in 2004. He just quit in 20 games with the Raptors in the 2004 to 2005 season, Vince got 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Vince played with zero effort, and his stats showed it. The Raptors finally gave up and gave him what he wanted on December 17, 2004. Vince was traded to the New Jersey Nets for Eric and Aaron Williams, Alonzo Mourning, and 2 first-round picks for a talent like Vince Carter. The trade was like getting 10 cents for a dollar. Alonzo Mourning was hurt, so the Raptors paid him $9 million and sent him away. Then just 4 months later, he signed with the Heat. Eric and Aaron Williams got a combined 6 points, 1 rebound, and 0 assists over 3 years. The trade was thought of as one of the worst of all time, but the Raptors were just happy to be done with the injury-prone problem child that Vince had become. However, the moment Vince Carter left the Raptors, he magically changed his numbers, shot up to 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists per game. Vince went from his worst season of his career to his best in the same year. The only difference was the jersey he wore. The Raptors fans hated Vince for this music applause, but to be fair, Vince joined a talented Nets team with a different style of play, and Raptors management during Vince's career was terrible. Still, it didn't matter in the eyes of the fans. Vince on purpose hurt his own team because of Vince. The Raptors spent another 10 years at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, Ben Simmons is right, where Vince Carter was in 2004. He's pretending to be hurt, not trying hard and becoming a problem to force his way out. Ben quit on the team that picked him, just like Vince, but Ben could turn things around if he learns a lesson or two from the Vince and AD mess. First, he needs to get along with the Sixers organization, something that Vince Carter and the Raptors were never able to do. He needs to understand that the Sixers and their general manager, Daryl Morey, are being smart. They cannot make the same mistake as the Raptors did trading their superstar talent for nothing. Second, Ben needs to at least pretend to support the Sixers organization. He needs to tell the news people that he's working hard on his game and his mind. Remember, your image is everything in the NBA. No general manager in the NBA wants to trade for a troublemaker who's going to cause problems in the locker room and sit out of games with fake injuries. This is why Carmelo Anthony, one of the greatest scorers of all time, had to do a press tour in 2018 just to get back in the league. I felt like I loved the game more than the game loved me at that particular time. I had to come to a point and say, you know what, Melo, accept it. This is what it is for now. This is the norm. Accept the new norm for right now. So finally, Ben needs to prove it to the fans that he's putting in the effort and put up big numbers for at least a month or two. This will help Ben raise his value high enough for the Sixers to get a fair trade. So if Ben can support the team, both him and Philly, eventually get what they want, Ben a fresh start somewhere, he can finally spread his young socialite wings, and Philly strong additions to their team that will keep them trying to win championships during Embiid's best years. Today, it seems impossible that Philly fans will ever accept Ben again, but it also seemed that way for Vince. He was hated in Toronto when he left, but he got a standing ovation in his last game ever in Toronto as a member of the Hawks horn sounds. And coming into the game, Vince Carter, he may even have his number 15 jersey retired by the organization, so there's definitely hope for Ben Simmons. Who knows? I could be wrong, but I think any situation can be fixed if Vince Carter was able to get the Raptors fans cheering for him again. If you enjoyed these longer videos, hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. I have a ton of awesome content coming out, and I always make my videos for the Henry Hoops audience. So if you don't want to miss out, hit the subscribe button. Peace